I got a good one for you guys today.
Let me hear it.
Listen to me. When your work speaks for itself, you don't interrupt. Welcome to Cody's Corner. I feel that one in my ribs. Hello, everybody, and welcome officially to Cody's Corner. Cody's week-by-week hot takes on who's going to take the W in the sport of your choosing. I'm here sat beside, fitted up, per usual, looking like Dapper Dan out here. You got Petey beside me.
What's up?
And then we got the man with the chair, the man with the statistics. What did he? Wicked. We got my boy David.
Hello.
Welcome to the show, man. Look, honestly, it's feeling kind of lonely with the one episode a week. I don't know about how you guys feel.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that we're here, and I got a lot to say. I didn't talk to you guys a lot during the week. Not to let the people dip their toe into my business, right? But I stepped away. I went to Florida for the week.
Ooh, in
Came
the
back,
sunshine.
got a little tan, looking like little butter pecan Puerto Rican or whatever they be saying on there, right?
All right.
But I'm feeling myself today. I'm back in Brick, New Jersey, and I'm not talking to town. It's freezing over here, bro. I was wearing shorts last week, and I came back to wear a puffer, so I'm happy to be here. But I have something I want to talk about near and dear to our hearts. We're always big into the parlays, as Mr. Parlay King himself beside me would so happily remind us every now and again.
Mm-hmm.
The Jaguars had $20 million embezzled by a FanDuel employee. Did you hear about this?
No, I did not.
The Jacksonville Jaguars have asked FanDuel to reimburse them for some or all of approximately $20 million in stolen proceeds from a former employee on the website. His name is Amit Patel. He was a mid-level finance manager, and he has pled guilty to stealing over $22 million through a virtual credit card system that the Jaguars use for their expenses. But the Jaguars are trying to fight FanDuel for it, and it kind of seems like FanDuel said, hey, we're sorry that our employee did that, but we're not going to give you the $20 million back.
Wait, so I don't really understand. So how does FanDuel have to do with a Jaguar? It was a FanDuel employee.
So I'm going to break it down. There was a FanDuel employee. His name was Amit.
Right.
And this guy is in charge of how their credit card systems work in FanDuel. He then gets the access of the Jaguars' expense credit card and starts using it to play daily fantasy.
Is he winning?
I mean, I don't know, but how much could you win putting down $20 million?
How do you get the Jaguars credit card?
That's what I mean.
That I don't know.
If he's working for FanDuel.
So who in Jacksonville is betting on the games? That's what I want to know.
Listen, I don't know, but when you look at it, right, who do you think is
This
right?
sounds like it goes real deep there, Cody.
Listen.
It sounds like it gets real deep.
It starts the story starts getting a little twisted, right? Because then you're like, yo. So apparently he lost $20 million in FanDuel, and then this same man took that credit card that he had the access from in FanDuel, and then lost another $1 million on DraftKings.
What in the world?
He's probably gonna go to jail for a long time.
Well, no kidding.
That's like I've never heard of such a thing in the industry of this magnitude before.
Well,
personally.
he's good.
He's good. Not that good. He got caught.
Well, yeah, right. Well, he was good.
Right.
For a bit. Now, did they mention how long this was going on for? Because that's a lot of money.
Well, look, I'm assuming. Let's see.
Not in a season, because that's crazy.
This was also interesting, just to note. He was a VIP host. So a VIP host is someone that when a VIP has a problem with the app or whatever,
right,
instead of talking to like customer service of FanDuel, they kind of have like a rep that they can hit up personally. Like they have their number.
And how do you become a VIP? Just by the amount of money?
That you play. Yeah, correct. But it has nothing to do with like your income or anything like that.
Which makes sense, and I'm not
exactly.
VIP,
so he basically he was in charge of people that he knew was spending a lot of money on the app. One of them could have worked for the Jaguars potentially, maybe, yeah. I don't know. Or as David would say, the Jaguars.
The Jaguars.
Say it, David.
Jaguars.
Oh.
Yeah, we all know
There's
that.
extra emphasis where it doesn't belong.
We all know.
There's no I.
Jagwire. Jaguars.
Whatever, yo.
Listen, it's a difficult subject to talk about for other people, but not me. I got one more thing I want to say before we get into this recap. Can we clap it up for Jermaine Johnson made it to the Pro Bowl real quick?
That's right.
That's right. Give him some love.
That's right.
Listen,
Petey,
you wear green
you're
every
not
week.
clapping.
You gotta rep the Jets every once in a while.
Petey,
I don't
you're
want to
not
hear
clapping.
any ands, ifs,
There's
or
enough
buts.
clapping.
There's not a single Giant in the Pro Bowl.
Not
I
a
don't
one.
think.
Not a one.
Not a one.
Not a one.
That big blue is not to be found.
Not a one.
Hey.
Not a single Jet in the playoffs.
Hey.
Okay.
The Giants are even farther than that, bro.
No, we're not that. We're one game behind where you guys are.
Okay,
okay.
Petey.
I tell you
Next
what, man.
week, the Giants are going to be next week. Next year, the Giants are going to be exactly where they were this year. Mark my words.
And so will the Jets.
Yeah, anyway. Listen, man. But we're not here to talk about the Jets or the Giants. In the past, it has been my therapy session. But today, we're here to talk about the future and what is to come of the games that brought us our two teams that we're going to watch in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So let's get right into it, shall we?
Shall we?
We shall.
I want to talk about this. And Petey said this to me while we were watching the Kansas City at Baltimore game. Kansas City at Baltimore. Kansas City beat Baltimore 17-10. Passing leader of the game, Lamar Jackson, 272 passing. The rushing leader, Isaiah Pacheco with 68. The receiving leader, Travis Kelce with 116 receiving. You said this to me, right? So I want you to talk to me because you said it and it made me like, I looked back at it and I reflected. You said the Ravens lost the game, not necessarily that Kansas City won that game.
Yeah.
So what does that mean to you?
So it was a good first half. You know,
They had me in the first half. I'm
yeah,
not gonna lie.
I think the first couple possessions, both teams were scoring, and I was like, oh, this might be a really high scoring game. Then it just turned into like a punt fest.
Yeah.
But in that, the Ravens kept getting the ball. They
Right.
were down, but not out. But they just couldn't score or capitalize.
Now let me ask you this: in the game before, where we watched Baltimore, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people talked about how it seemed like Lamar Jackson was kind of hesitant to let go of the ball.
Yep.
Now it looked like he was throwing it too much and not relying on the legs that he brought him where he was.
Quick stat for
Please.
that game.
Please.
The Baltimore Ravens dropped back 82% of the offensive plays.
Whoa.
82%.
82%.
That's Tom Brady numbers.
Yeah, that's a
That
big
is
number.
that is not the Ravens game plan. But
No.
continue, sorry.
Yeah, but you know what? Maybe that's kind of what led them to their demise. You know, sometimes if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, if there's anyone that needs to be dropping back and throwing the ball, it's the guy that was dropping back and throwing the ball, Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
You know, there's a reason why they didn't get to where they were. And that breaks my heart. I was rooting for Baltimore all the way. I said it last week. You're going to hear me say it when the Super Bowl comes around. I didn't want a Taylor Swift Super Bowl. I didn't.
I don't
Wanna
think,
know-
I don't
you know
think
how
anybody
many-
did.
You know how many rushes the Ravens had that game?
How many?
Take a guess.
How many rushes?
Yeah. I just told you
In
eight?
total.
11.
I was going to say 13.
11. For a predominantly run-heavy team,
Yeah. Disgusting.
11?
Yeah.
Can we also talk about when Cody said Dalvin Cook was going to be a difference maker in this Ravens
Oh, we
team?
could talk about it every episode.
But you know what? That's a shame though, because if they played the way that they're supposed to be playing, he should have made a difference on that team.
probably
Why
should've.
pick up a running back to go into the playoffs if you're gonna start running the ball less?
True.
What does that mean?
Also,
you know?
why have Gus Edwards be as hot as he's been and not use him?
Right.
Also, why have Lamar? You know, the big question mark to me, I don't know why Lamar wasn't running the ball. I don't know if it's coaching.
Right.
I don't know if he just had a mental block and he just was a little hesitant to run.
Right.
But the Chiefs' defense, we spoke about them. I always said they have a better defense than they've had in the past.
Two
And they've-
lockdown corners.
So that's what I'm going to bring up.
Super
Two
nice.
lockdown corners. They have a good defense. The best aspect of their defense is their secondary. Their corners.
100%. Marlon Humphreys.
Why throw the ball?
No, Marlon Humphreys is on the.
Oh, forgive me. I thought you were talking about
the Chiefs.
Snead.
Forgive me. I thought-
Ladarius Sneed's on one side. I forgot.
Dog.
Yeah.
But if you're Lamar Jackson, you have to run the ball way more than he did and throw a lot less often.
Yeah.
That
Well,
just shouldn't have been the game plan.
did you think that they were gonna go with this? Since me and David chose Baltimore and we were wrong about that, and you were the one that chose Kansas City. Did you think that Baltimore was going to fold and make a bad decision like the way that they
I
did?
didn't think so. I thought it would be a high-scoring game, but I just thought the Chiefs would outscore them and outplay them. It wasn't necessarily that. I mean, they played very well, but I do think Baltimore shot themselves in the foot.
Now I have a question for the both of you.
Yeah.
Do you believe that because Kansas City came out and scored right away, do you think that maybe changed up the way Baltimore kind of – because now you're playing catch-up, right? And, I mean, obviously all these NFL games, it's always like the first one to 21 or the first one to 20 is like the wins, a lot of these times in these games.
Most of the time, yeah.
So it's like because of that, did that kind of put the pressure on Harbaugh? Did that put the pressure on Lamar to kind of go out and be like, we need to put points up on the board because we're going against Andy Reid and the best quarterback possibly ever?
I hope not, because if you're telling me, coaching-wise, if you're telling me Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs are going to score on their first possession, I'm not surprised, right?
Right.
You have to be prepared for that, and prepared to play. Not completely abandon a game plan just because that happens. Because I feel like there's more of a chance the Chiefs score first possession than they don't.
But you know what? To compare it to past seasons, and someone may attest to me if I'm wrong, Chiefs are usually the ones that are turning on in the second half of the game.
Well, I think 3 points were scored in the second, in the second half. Nothing. The Ravens defense really kicked up, but they just couldn't. They completely went away from the game plan. They couldn't string anything together, and when they did, it was what happened. Zay Flowers with the penalty, right? It was the taunting,
right?
That brought that play back.
That was dumb.
That was stupid. He's gonna learn. I'm sure, you know what I mean. Everybody has their moments when
it's funny
he's
though.
young still, and then what? And then the fumble, which was a excellent play by Snead.
Yeah,
amazing,
excellent play by Snead. But still, it's one of those. It's obviously it killed whatever momentum they might have had. So it's I don't know. So.
I don't know.
The Ravens lost the game then?
I do think so.
I think the Ravens lost
even
the game.
So everybody talks about the Chiefs always getting the calls.
Right.
But the ones that they did, it's we talk about the Ravens taunting. There was that one, I forgot who it was, but he clotheslined a dude.
Yeah.
That's and then Baltimore fans are like, that's not. I'm like, that's a penalty. It's not just Chiefs getting calls, that's a penalty. But the defense, man, we talked about defense winning championships. I have a little statistic here.
Let's see it.
Since the year 2000, the fewest points allowed in the playoffs. In 2000, the Ravens allowed an average of 5.8 in the whole playoffs, which is insane.
That's wild.
That's
nuts.
A wild statistic.
Next,
2000?
2000.
Oh my God.
Next after that, big gap. 2002, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 12.3. After that, Seattle, 2013, 13.3.
Legion of Boom.
Now, 2023, Kansas City Chiefs, 13.7.
Look at that.
Now, this is obviously without a Super Bowl game being played yet.
Right.
We don't know if that's going to go up or down, but still ranked number 4 in defense points allowed in the playoffs.
Yeah, and that just goes to show, like you're saying, it's Kansas City knows exactly what they have to do with that experience, and they lay it out on the line. So I think you're right. I think that you were right on the nose when you said the Ravens were kind of stepping on their own toes.
They were.
Now, speaking of a team that was stepping on their own toes, Detroit at San Francisco.
We're switching already?
Listen,
we're done talking about them?
Yeah, man. I honestly, what else is there to say? It was only there was 5 scoring plays in the whole game. Like you said, nothing really happened in the second half. Do you feel like
other than Travis Kelce showing his dominance? Did you see that Kelce? I believe he called Kittle the best tight end in the NFL.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, we said it last week. We said this playoff had the 4 best tight ends left.
I mean,
Very true.
real. What is he gonna say himself?
I would.
I mean, the dude had 116 yards that game.
You can't.
You know what I'm saying?
He
has the most touchdowns. He has the most touchdowns for any tight end. What do you mean?
I mean, yeah,
Kelce?
but if you're in the spotlight, what are you gonna be like? Yeah, it's me.
Yeah, because
I'm
we
just
all
that
know.
guy. No one else knows.
Yeah, we all know Travis Kelce to be super humble, right?
Yeah.
You don't hear the guy on the podium?
All right, fine. Well, do you agree with him?
That Kittle's better?
Yeah.
No.
All right. Well, then he must have said it for a reason, because if he's not humble, he's not stupid either. He can't say himself.
Before we move on to the next game, can we talk about the controversy? I'm blanking on the name now. Justin Tucker when he's doing his warm-up routine.
Yeah,
That was funny.
I thought it was funny. He's just doing kicking drills.
Competition.
That little clip of like Pat Mahomes flinging his gear like that over.
So everybody,
I like that, bro.
That
gets me excited, bro. Like hell yeah, playoffs.
So everyone was saying, Travis Kelce and Mahomes are being little,
bullies.
Bullies. That's a good word. I couldn't think of a
bullies
synonym
because he's the kicker.
I couldn't think of a synonym for the word I wanted to say.
Right.
So everybody was complaining about that, right? I was like, why is he warming up in their end zone in the first place? Like, I don't really know how it works in football, but like in basketball, for example,
he didn't need to be doing.
You warm up on your half,
Yep.
and the other team warms up on the other.
Exactly. That's how.
I don't think he should have been right next to Mahomes on the 5-yard line with a little.
I think he came out and said that he did that on purpose, though.
Probably.
Justin Tucker, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, no, I respect the mind games, right?
I mean,
but I'm not gonna criticize.
As the best kicker in the league right now,
Yeah.
I'm sure he feels like, he's feeling himself a little. The game was at home, whatever.
Anybody who had a problem with what either Justin Tucker did or Mahomes or Kelce never played a sport in their lives. All right?
I agree.
Because all that is competition and, guys trying to get in each other's heads and stuff like that. That's I want to see that personally.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? As a fan, as somebody who used to play sports and stuff like that, like, yeah, I want to see all of that. And if I'm a coach, I'm encouraging that too.
Yeah, these new generations of athletes aren't really at that same level of aggressiveness with one another.
Everybody wants to be friends.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, look, recently I watched a cousin of mine go and play some basketball. I'm watching players on his team, picking up the opponent's teams off the floor when they get fouled.
You're crazy.
I was like, what are you? In my mind, I was like, yo, you're lucky if I even touched your hand when you were reaching up for your teammate. Like, It's just one of those things. There was a certain level of like mentality where you're looking at the other team like you're public enemy number one right now.
Yeah.
Anything that goes with you, I mean, it's not like a hatred for someone.
No, I don't have any malice towards you.
Yeah, no, it's not something negative where you kind of have a sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Disrespect. Because it's not like you don't respect. Because if you respect someone to let you play the way you play a sport, it's vice versa. That's what their sportsmanship is all about. But you know that they're going to go just as hard at you as you are at them. So it's like a mutual, okay, I can't be nice to you right now. I'm trying to murder you.
100%.
It's funny. I'm currently in the middle of reading an autobiography of David Wright from the Mets.
Okay.
And he was talking about his first year when he joined the team. He had a hard play where he was running from first to second, and the second baseman caught the ball and went to throw it to first, and David Wright slid into his feet, kind of like it's a thing baseball players do to kind of break up a play.
Right.
And then afterward, he hit him a little bit, and he grabbed him. He picked him up, and he was like, "I'm sorry," blah blah, and he walked back to the bench. And this is in 2005.
Right.
And then the coach was like, "I thought you were gonna kiss him too." Because you never really saw that back then.
Yeah.
That was around the time where it was starting to happen a little more,
Yeah, well, check this out. Like in basketball, Russell Westbrook, right? We all know who he is.
Right.
He's known for talking trash.
Right.
He's calling people baby. He's rocking the baby after he does a move. The other night I'm watching a game against the Pistons. Sasser, step back three. 2 plays before, Russell just came up the court, scored a layup, talking smack, carrying the baby, this and that, right? Being Russell, being aggressive, but being competitive, right?
Right.
Sasser comes up, step back 3, drains it right in his face. As they're going up the court, you see the camera pan, and Russell's congratulating the kid. You know what I mean? Giving him yo, good shot.
Yeah.
Because that's what it's about. I play in the league, and every Wednesday, I can tell you right now, I'm talking mess. I'm talking crazy sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But best believe that after that game, it's all respect. Oh, so you might hate me during the game,
right.
But then if you do, I won already because now I'm in your head. That's what I want. But I don't hate you.
I got a good one for you. I know you remember this time in the Olympics when Kobe Bryant flew through Pau Gasol's chest.
100%.
Yeah.
He called that. He said he told. I don't know if you watched the documentary. He
said I'm gonna do that.
He said, listen. He said, I know what play they're gonna run. He said, don't worry about anything. I'm running right through Pau's chest. I know I'm going to get the foul. I'm running right through his chest. Set the tone for the whole game. That's his brother.
Yeah, that's his guy.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. So anybody who, in my opinion, if you had a problem with that, go watch pickleball or something.
You know what? I just recently learned what pickleball is.
We talked about it last week.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man.
Fun sport to play.
You've played it?
Yeah, I've played it.
Ah.
Look,
Someone who plays pickleball is like equivalent to someone who says Jaguar, like in my. It's all in the same category.
Nah, because I've
do
never
agree.
played
I
pickleball.
say we should go play some pickleball in Jaguar.
David, you're
Sire.
2 years removed from about to play pickleball. You're right there.
You're bugging.
You're right there. You know, you're pushing 60. You're getting to that age. Well, but look, it's tennis, just easier on the knees and the body. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
It sounds appealing. I'm not gonna hold you.
There you go.
Anything that's
But
easy
like
on the
we said,
knees.
everybody had a problem with it, but Justin Tucker himself. He was
I-
like, I was playing mind games. That's what it is. I'm not upset at all.
Exactly.
After we finish recording the show, David has to oil his knees like a Tin Man.
As if I'm running suicides in here. Okay.
Oh man. Well, look, I had a really good transition,
I know,
and I'm
sorry.
glad you stopped me. But I'm just gonna hit it right back anyway.
Well, why don't we go to the parlays that we did
Oh,
not
it's
hit
true.
Oh,
whatsoever?
All right,
I mean,
so-
I'm pretty sure this is Petey's parlay here, right?
Yeah, I'll talk about it.
Yeah, you might as
I
well.
had the parlay for both games.
right.
I had McCaffrey over 90 yards. He did that. I had Pacheco touchdown. He did that.
Mm-hmm.
I had the over on 45.5. They did that. I had Lamar Jackson for a rushing touchdown.
Right.
He did not do that.
Which is very unlikely in this situation.
But looking back at it, he wasn't running the ball. And now,
Yeah, I mean, listen, my parlay, I had Lamar 2 TDs, Mahomes 225, Kelsey for 75, and Rashee Rice for 40 plus.
Rashee Rice is looking like he's him.
Yeah, Rashee Rice is looking good, man.
For
He's
real.
looking like a dog. And, I mean, it also helps when you have Patty Mahomes throwing you the ball,
Of course.
But
He looks developed.
But as you can see, I had Lamar for 2 TDs. PD had Lamar for a TD. It just shows that right back to what we were talking about. They completely went away from the game plan, and it's disappointing.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of game plans, Dan Campbell stuck with his this game,
Oh my goodness!
and he shot himself in the foot. We got San Fran against Detroit, and this was a fun game to watch.
Yes, it was.
And, the way it ended, a little, people are upset. I don't necessarily blame Dan Campbell too much because, look, he's been doing it all season. He likes to go for it, right?
Right.
You live by the sword, you die by the sword.
Okay.
It's like, it's different because it is
Double edge, maybe.
double-edged sword, right?
Yo, that one came from his stomach. You saw.
You
Double
said
edged. Honestly, no, but what you're saying is facts, And then I gotta tell you, if I was lying today and I was concerned about my future, I honestly could tell you I don't think I would have anything to worry about.
I would.
Personally.
I would.
What do you have to worry about?
Because I think it's hard enough to make it to the Super Bowl and, win it nonetheless. But this might be the farthest we see them make it.
Listen,
For years.
I
listen.
disagree with you.
We
I
didn't
disagree
think-
with you
we
100%.
didn't-
I hear
look.
you both saying that. But Peter, real quick,
Yeah.
the offensive coordinator Ben Johnson had all the opportunity to be a head coach for the Washington Commanders.
Yeah.
And he decided that, you know what? I like my chances here in Detroit way better because, listen, head coaching jobs do not come just willy-nilly. You understand what I'm
They
saying?
do nowadays.
Well, but you know what I mean, though?
Yeah,
It's
no.
not something that somebody necessarily turns down.
Yeah.
So I think that says about a lot about the Lions and their belief in what they've got going on over there.
I agree, but I just with the competition in the league, you got Pat Mahomes, he's still around. You have San Fran's gonna be a juggernaut for years. And we talk about the teams that just got eliminated. You had Houston that's on the come up.
Right.
You have Buffalo that's still gonna be in it every year. The Chargers, who knows what they do? Green Bay on the come up. You have all these teams. I don't want to say this was the Lions' best shot at making it all the way, but I do think it's going to be harder for them in the next coming years.
Here's a problem that I have with Dan Campbell today because of this, and I'm gonna just reiterate what we spoke about when they played. Who was it? The Cowboys, when they had that whole lineman play, whatever.
Yeah.
Yo, don't you think Dan Campbell should have learned his lesson,
Yeah.
bro?
Take the points.
Take the points.
Take the points.
Take the points,
especially
bro.
when you're up.
No, it doesn't make sense to me. He already had the chance to tie that game with the Cowboys. What did he do? Made a risky decision, and it didn't go well. Now he's in the same position in the playoffs.
Take the points.
Take the points.
Take the
He
points.
could, even if he took them to OT. Even if he took San Francisco to OT, even if San Francisco got the ball first, you're giving yourself a chance. Now there wasn't even a chance.
Take the points.
Take the points, bro.
But we are saying this. We're saying it
But it's not a skill problem
happened.
that Detroit has. That's
like,
why I'm not worried about their
what
future.
if they would have, like, they would have made it on that 4th down?
Yeah,
we
but
wouldn't be talking about this. What if he missed a field goal? We wouldn't be talking about this.
But if you miss a field goal, then it's not on Campbell, it's on the kicker.
But my
right?
thing is that what is he going on 4th down for? Is it an analytics thing? Because I get it. But see, this is what I'm talking about. Well, like with this whole analytics like vibe that everybody's on. We all watch football, man. We've all, played football. Dan, like he's been out there. Like situations. There's sometimes where it's like, I'm not gonna trust these analytics right now. I'm gonna go with my football acumen,
right.
And I'm gonna make this football play because you're up 17. Now you go up 20. Right. And it's a different game. But it's like
sloppiness.
Take the points. Take the points.
I agree with you. Like even that, I'm embarrassed for that corner. What's his name? C.J. Gardner Johnson, bro, waving at San Francisco at the half. You look like a fool.
And that's his own fault, yeah.
Like, I mean, not for nothing. That's a good time to be excited or celebratory, but to then lose like that,
So,
like,
I have a question. I was listening to something, speaking about this game, right? Because it's apparent that Dan Campbell messed up. It is what it is. People may say what they want to say, but regardless of that, the San Francisco 49ers were down 17.
They were. I mean, they were looking down and out. I was ready to turn off the game.
So my thing is,
for real.
The 49ers also haven't looked like this juggernaut that they did in the regular season.
Correct.
Right? So I was listening to something, and who do you have as their quarterback? You have Brock Purdy, right? Mr. Irrelevant.
Right.
But then you have all of these amazing skill players. Like the 49ers are talent-wise are stacked top to bottom.
Correct.
So now this raises the question, are the 49ers, their scheme, coach, game plan, all of this stuff, is it really that good? Or is it just that their skill players are so much better than the guys on the other side sometimes that it's literally willing them to wins?
That could be it.
I mean, look, I'll put it to you like this. We're going to find out in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Because it's one type of team against the other type of team.
Mm-hmm.
It's the star quarterback against the star skill player.
And I'm going to tell you right now, well, I mean, there's some other things like other stats that, like 49ers play a lot of zone. Mahomes is going to kill that.
Right.
So, but
especially the way that Rice is playing.
Yeah, but I mean, aside from that, I don't know, that was just something that was really intriguing to me because I was like, you know what, that makes a lot of sense because they got some really Christian McCaffrey, Debo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk. I mean, we can go down the line, right?
Right.
Like they've got defensive side, Nick Bosa, freaking what's this, Chase Young. You know what I mean? Like they've got everywhere, wherever you look, they've got talent.
Right.
So could that really be it? Could it just be that they're that much better? And is that a formula that wins a Super Bowl?
I mean, hey, that's kind of what's been taking them there in the past too. Even when they played the Chiefs, what was that, 2019? When it was Jimmy G at the quarterback, and they had that, it was the skill players running that team.
They could have won that game.
They could have won that. They could have won that game.
One bad play. Jimmy G threw a bomb that was not
Sorry.
caught. That's okay. Jimmy G threw a bomb that should have been caught. He just didn't throw it right.
Mm-hmm.
They should have won that game.
If we're being honest, Cam Newton came out and said Brock Purdy's the 10th best person on the team.
That's a lot of people.
There's a lot of people.
I
can't think of all 10 of them. I mean, we could try right here.
We can try right now. We can try.
Look, you got Debo, Ayuk,
Yep.
Kittle,
Yep.
McCaffrey.
Yep.
Let's see.
I'll put Chase Young over him.
Chase Young.
Bosa.
That's 6 right there.
6.
Are you counting the fullback?
No.
Usyk?
I'm not gonna count him as better than Purdy.
I mean, that's 6 for me. Who else could you even put there? I mean, I didn't go in depth into the Cam Newton argument. Maybe David, if you want to pull that up, we could kind of see if he he name dropped anybody, But I mean,
he didn't. I've seen Cam Newton. I've watched Cam Newton before. He's
for purpose of like just looking at what it
Did
is
you name
that he
Kittle?
meant by that. It's
yeah,
true.
we said Kittle. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, are you looking at it right now? I see
Yeah.
you.
I don't
scrolling
really
through
see. I don't really
something.
see too many that are.
But still. Point being that he's nowhere near the best.
He's not.
He's not even on the first hand if I'm counting.
He's not top 5.
He's not top 5.
No.
There you
Not
go.
top
Put it
five.
like that. He's not top 5.
And your quarterback is usually top 5.
Right.
If
Yeah.
if you
he
are.
should be.
Yeah.
Even for
But
the Lions.
that's not a bad thing, you know?
Yeah.
That just means their team is stacked with players.
Yeah.
And Purdy's not bad.
What I meant to say by that is they also had basically the same exact formula when they had Jimmy Garoppolo.
That's exactly what I mean. They're stacked with players, but if you can scheme correctly and take those players away,
Yeah.
or just limit, the players that you do allow to certain things, are you that hard to beat?
So on that point of being stacked and not on the QB position, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Lions, going back to them.
Mm.
You have stars on that team. Jameer Gibbs on the come up. David Montgomery.
Right.
Sam Laporta.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
All right? That's just on the
You can
offensive
make the argument
side.
for one of the Reynolds now, I think.
I think,
Mm.
yeah, very soon you can. And then you have Jared Goff. Now I wanna ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say I tell you the Lions are going to be in the Super Bowl in 2 years. All right? 2 to 3 years, they're going to be in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Are you thinking it's going to be Jared Goff taking them there, or they have a new QB?
I mean, look, people say he's the worst player on the team, but he is playing really good football.
I do believe I've watched Jared Goff take a team to the Super Bowl.
But okay, but let me rephrase that. I'm sorry. Let's say the Lions win the Super Bowl in 2 years.
Are they gonna say it was because of Jared Goff? Is that what you're
Do you
asking?
think it's Jared Goff is going to be? Do you think Jared Goff can win a Super Bowl
Yes.
with the Lions?
Yes.
I don't think
Absolutely.
Jared Goff lost that game.
No, I agree with you.
He didn't. It was Campbell that lost that game. That was coaching. That had nothing to do with the skill thereof.
I think Jared Goff
Jared
played.
Goff.
I think Jared Goff played a good game.
25 for 41, 273 yards, and 1 touchdown. It's not a great game.
No, but
it's
Jameer
not the
Gibbs
reason they
scored.
lost
But
either.
Jameer Gibbs scored. Like they had
Yeah.
that. What was it? A punt return or was it a kickoff return?
I think it was a punt return.
So you know what I mean. So yeah, they were scoring. So Jared Goff didn't have to throw for a bunch of touchdowns, but
Right. But he did what he was supposed to.
right. And if
What-
coaching would have did what they were supposed to,
Yeah,
they would be in the Super Bowl right now. So
Campbell's looking
so do
like
I
Campbell
think that Jared Goff, if they got there, I mean, a lot goes into it to winning a Super Bowl, but I
Right.
don't think that he couldn't be a reason that they win.
Like I said, I don't think the Lions should even be worried about next year. Being honest.
I would be a little worried.
Who would you be worried about? Especially in their division.
Name me the division again.
Isn't it? What is it? The Lions division is the Vikings, the Packers,
I'd be worried about the
and
Vikings
the
a little
Bears.
bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be worried about the Bears a little bit.
I'm not worried about.
I'd be worried about the Packers a little bit.
I'm worried about the Packers.
I'd be worried about
I'd
Jordan
be
Love.
worried if the Bears have. It's tough, but if they have a draft and an off season that's really good, I'd be worried about them next year.
Let me ask you this.
They've already got the youngest team in the league.
If you're looking at that team, right, and you're looking at that division, if you were looking at all 4 starting quarterbacks in that division, so you got Kirk Cousins potentially, you don't know if he's going to come back. You got Jordan Love, you got Jared Goff, and then you got potentially either
Justin
Caleb
Fields.
Williams or Justin Fields, right? He's still the best one so far
And there,
Out of
out of those 4.
I might take Kirk
over
maybe.
Jordan Love, you said?
I think Jordan Love is the better player overall, but Jared Goff has been more successful in his NFL
Yeah,
career
but that's
so
only
far.
because he's been around. I think
I
just
think
by
Kirk Cousins
watching.
maybe might be the best one in that group.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
I don't know.
I don't think.
Like,
so
what
either.
are we talking though? Are we talking talent wise? Because are we really gonna put any of these guys talent wise over Jordan Love? I thought Jordan
Jordan
Love.
Love, I think, has the
looked-
potential to be.
Yeah, I think Jordan Love
best in
looked
that group.
great.
Yeah.
Like, but if you mean like right now, who's the best? Like as like in the start of next season?
Yeah, who are you most excited to see them ball out next?
Jordan Love.
Jordan
I'm
Love.
excited
I
about.
agree.
Jordan Love.
But
agree.
I'd
But
also be
who's the-
very excited for Justin Fields. If
Are you?
I do like Justin Fields a lot.
I don't know, man.
I like him too, just not on the Bears.
I don't know.
Is he gonna stay on the Bears? I mean, we've had this conversation.
You know, he deserves to stay on the Bears. I'll put it like that.
He does.
After all this fake news that I might have seen about Caleb Williams, potentially
Definite fake news.
definite fake news that a lot of people don't want to see, or Caleb Williams doesn't want to be a Bear, this and that. Listen, man, if they're gonna make all this fake hype about whether a player wants to or wants to not go there, keep the guy that's already doing well, and just quit all the gossip while you're ahead.
Yeah, but that's not how the NFL works.
You know? Well, that's how I work,
Okay.
David.
All right.
As I sit here in my game studio and I try to focus on where I really think these teams are going to be next year, I don't think the Lions have anything to worry about.
I think they'll be. I think from the way it looks, the way they're constructed, and everything. I mean, they're a playoff team, and it looks like they're going to be a perennial playoff team for a little bit. So
Let me ask you this.
Shout out to Petey, 2 for 2 with your decisions this week.
Thank you.
We both
Thank
picked Detroit, and then you had Kansas City and San Francisco.
Yeah, that's what I thought was gonna happen. That's
he
not what I
picked
wanted.
he picked with his mind. We picked
Yeah.
with our heart this
Yeah.
week.
Right,
We talked about it
Last week, it is what it is.
So I want to say this. I want to ask one question before we move on from the Bears and the division completely.
Mhm.
The Bears have the number 1 pick.
Yep.
Number 2 is the Commanders. Number 3 is the Patriots.
Mm.
Right. I'm gonna assume the Commanders and Patriots are both looking for a QB. Right.
Okay.
Bears have the number 1. Should they talk to the Patriots, who have the number 3, swap picks, and get something else, right? So let's say the Bears get the number 3 pick and something else, right?
Pick
So that
up
puts
more.
the Patriots at number 1.
Right.
So that puts them over the Commanders, who also probably would take Caleb Williams. So it gives the Patriots a chance to get Caleb Williams. And then it gives the Bears a chance to get Harrison for a receiver and something else.
I'm going to tell you why I don't think the Bears would do that is because they also have other picks in that first, like, top 10.
But why
or
not?
whatever.
You get Marvin
Because-
Harrison Jr.
Because why would they move down if they already know that they have a lower pick in the lineup ready for them? So they don't really need to bounce back because they can have the front and the end.
'Cause I'll
of
tell
that
you
first
why.
And
pick.
it's not going to be just a pick swap. They're not just going to do 1 for 3.
No,
They're
but I'm
gonna
saying
want
you
something else.
get something else. You get a pick swap and something, right? Because if I'm being honest with you, I think the Bears best to fit their team, Marvin Harrison Jr. fits that team the best, right?
Mhm.
If you trust Fields enough. So you get Marvin Harrison Jr. and you get something else in return, and then you still have that number 9 pick to do whatever you want with, right? I think that makes a lot of sense.
Now I have a question for you. Bringing that up,
Yeah.
do you think, or do you not think that the Patriots are they not believing in Mac Jones?
No, they're not.
They shouldn't.
They
Bailey
benched him.
Zappi was playing better than Mac
Yeah.
Jones for the
I
last part
wouldn't.
of the season. Tell me no. And I'm not. That's not even me speaking from a
Do
division.
you believe in Mac Jones?
Hell no.
No.
No, I'm talking to David.
I mean, he's a Pro Bowler.
I don't care.
Who's a Pro Bowler?
Mac Jones made the Pro Bowl last year.
That's disgusting.
He did. Whether you think it's disgusting or not, he did. So, I mean, but
They didn't start in the Pro Bowl. What do you make, like All Pro or First Team Pro or
listen,
something
bro,
like
he
that?
was in the Pro Bowl, man. He's a Pro Bowler.
How'd that happen?
So that's on his resume. Whether you know what I mean. So, I mean, it sounds good, Petey. It sounds good.
Because if they don't, I'm assuming the first 3 picks are most likely going to be quarterbacks, and then number 4, the Cardinals. If Harrison's there, they're taking Marvin Harrison Jr.
I just don't see the Bears or any team for that matter, unless something happened and they got a pick from a team and they were terrible, but of giving up a quarterback
I
and giving
agree.
up a quarterback, somebody like Caleb Williams who's supposed to be like even though listen, this is all speculation because he could very easily be a bust, right? But still, the consensus is that this kid is legit, that he's the real deal, right? So I just don't see any team doing that. It's all just a pipe dream. Like their best bet, no matter how much you want to keep or how much you like Justin Fields, their best bet is to get rid of Justin Fields.
Now, speaking of a pipe dream, before we get a little bit too far off this game, I got to talk to you about my lost parlay.
I know you wanted to use pipe dream too, because as soon as I said it, you gave me a look like
You saw the
I
twinkle
saw
in my
the
eye.
twinkle in
for
your
a
eye.
second.
He was like, oh yeah, I like that one.
Yes, finally! All right, so look, I had CMC anytime touchdown. That one hit. Over 51.5. That one did also hit. The over hit at 64. And then I said Josh Reynolds for 50 receiving yards. He had 1 catch for 25.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know, because in my
If he had one
parlay.
more catch like that, I
Well,
would've
you know
hit.
what? He had
Oh,
three.
if
He had 3
ands,
attempts. He had 3
buts.
attempts. Each of his attempts were for over 15, 20 yards. It's just that he caught the last one for 25. So if he would have caught all 3 of his passes,
He would've hit it.
You would have hit, and they might have would have won.
I mean, they might have would have won if Dan Campbell stuck to his P's and Q's instead of as some might say, risk it for the biscuits.
Yeah, whatever.
You're gonna be eating a lot of biscuits pretty soon, but we'll talk about that in the future.
I am, man. I gotta check that fantasy basketball.
No, you're
brother.
losing against me this week. Tell you that.
Oh no, I'll turn it back on. Oh, it's Saturday. It's over, right?
Yeah, it's over. That's it. You're done.
Speaking about today, it is Saturday. Just want to give a quick little tidbit. You guys won't listen to the show till tomorrow. However, Lakers, Knicks tonight, 8:00, big
Super
game.
excited.
We're gonna talk about that
Super
game
hyped.
more during.
We're going to. But just wanted to give a little.
It's a good game. But look, now
I can't wait to watch the Knicks lose. But anywho,
in 2 weeks we have the game that many people didn't want to see. We have San Fran against Kansas City.
yeah,
And there's a lot on the line. We'll talk about that way more next week. But initially, I don't know. Let's talk about what we think. All right. CMC, I think, is a little hurt going into that game. He hurt his neck towards the end of the other game.
right.
I think he'll be fine. I think if he's not 100% healthy, he'll still play. I don't think he's missing that game for anything.
I don't think anybody should miss that game. Did you hear about the whole thing about how Christian McCaffrey can't afford a suite for his family?
No. It was more that his mother couldn't afford the suite. I'm sure if Christian McCaffrey, you know what I mean. I think it was more of a.
It was $2.5 million.
Yeah, I think it was more of a thing to let people know how expensive this is. But I'm pretty sure if Christian McCaffrey
speaking
wanted
of
to get his mom
expensive,
yeah,
and tickets to this game, I have a little story for you.
Ooh, okay.
I came across this on TikTok. Okay,
I love
so
TikTok.
there was a podcast or something going on, a radio show,
TikTok.
and this girl and her boyfriend called in.
yo,
They were having a little situation. All right,
okay.
her boyfriend won 2 tickets to the Super Bowl.
Oh,
Right, 2 free tickets
To this year's Super Bowl?
to this year's Super Bowl.
Oh God, okay.
He won 2 tickets to the Super Bowl.
Uh-huh.
Just so happens that his girlfriend's birthday is the day before.
Oof, tough cookies.
So, he got the chance to go that weekend to the Super Bowl. She's very upset. She's like, it's my birthday weekend. I want to celebrate my birthday, but he wants to go to this game, and he's bringing his best friend.
so celebrate the week after or something, the week before.
Now, why can't he bring his girl?
So they only gave him 2 tickets and 2 flights to the game.
And the first thing he said was, "I'm bringing my boy."
I mean, hey,
off
do
the
you
door-
blame him though?
Off the door.
Do you blame him though?
Out the door.
Look, if you're going to the Super Bowl, this isn't like, you're just going to go watch Giants Jets at MetLife. You know what I mean? Like, this is the game of the year.
This is a once.
You're
Yeah.
not going
I'm
to
not-
take you're not
I'm
going
not
to take
even-
someone else that probably knows the sport a little better?
I'm not overhyping
Someone that'll
this.
really enjoy the event. Like,
Realistically, a once.
realistically, she doesn't want to go to the Super Bowl for her birthday.
Look, I'll get more into that. Realistically, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity.
What
Right.
in the
The average
world?
person isn't going to a Super Bowl game in their lives. That's just being honest.
Correct.
Correct. So the radio people asked her, and they're like, "Are you into football at all?" And she's like, "No, not really." So he was like, "Yeah, that's why I'm not bringing her." And me and my best friend, he was like, "We watch every game every Sunday together."
Yep.
He's like, "Why would I not bring him to the
Dito.
Super Bowl with me?"
All right.
And it makes sense. And she's like, "Well, I just wanted to go. It's my birthday. I just wanted to go. I would like to be in Vegas."
Well, she can go to Vegas and they can go all out the day before and the day after that.
Well, look, I don't know.
It's not like Vegas. There's nothing to do in Vegas, you know.
So was there a
He-
question behind this? Are you asking me are you asking us what we would do in this situation?
Well, obviously
or-
you must have known that asking me, I was gonna be appalled at the question without you even asking the question.
So let's say we also know, I'm sure hotels in that area super expensive that weekend, probably all
Right.
sold out.
Oh yeah.
So let's assume, because I'm pretty sure, the argument was she's not going that weekend, and she was upset, right? Like he was like, I can't buy a flight for her, and we can't get a hotel room for that. All right, another one at least. So I'm gonna put you both in that situation. Let's say you get invited to the Super Bowl, 2 tickets.
I got it already, so I don't even
I'm not
know.
gonna lie to you. You don't even need to finish the question.
Honestly, let me tell you.
Like as respectfully as possible.
yeah.
I'll see you later.
Yeah, honestly, and this is all due.
Be for real.
And this is all due respect to my lady, who I love very much. Shorty, I'm gonna see you on the flip. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm gonna take pictures for you.
To be completely honest, my shorty likes football. So with that being said, we would probably go together, and it would be a great time. But if she just didn't like sports and she just wasn't into it, yeah, I'm taking my boy.
Let's reverse the scenario.
No, I gotta say this
Yeah.
because I am petty, right? So when I first got with my girl, she told me she was an Eagles fan.
Okay.
Did I ever tell you this?
No, you did not.
So if she tried to come and be like, I can't believe we're going to the Super Bowl.
I can't believe we're going.
I'd be like, your team isn't in the Super Bowl. So you don't care about going, right?
But that's not it. No, but why would you be petty in that situation?
Because
the Eagles aren't in our division.
But it's not even about that. It's about, look, and you could be the fan of whatever team you want. You know,
Right.
just because you're with me doesn't mean you got to be a Jets fan. But the Eagles, though.
You think she chose that out of pettiness?
I don't know. I really don't know. I think, if I'm being honest, she probably saw Jalen Hurts one time wearing, like, the Jordan cleats. Ooh, that's cool.
He's cute.
Yeah, right?
Oh my God, those cleats are so cute.
Yeah, I want one.
I want one. Just one, though. Not both. Just one.
Oh, you're talking about not like in a pair of shoes. She wants a single shoe?
A single cleat.
I'm not going to lie to you, bro. I'll see you later.
I mean,
roles reversed. Let's say your girl won 2 tickets front row to her favorite, whether it's Beyonce or Giveon or Brent Faiyaz, right?
Right. She's not taking me.
Wait.
Yeah.
I love Brent though. Like, but see, that's the thing.
Well, let's say
it was an artist that
somebody
she
you
loves
don't
that
like,
you're not crazy about.
She got 2 front row tickets in Vegas as well, right? She got flights and a hotel room. She's like, I'm gonna take my girl with me, but it's your birthday. I don't think you'd be that upset about it.
If it was my birthday.
Now it's
wait,
Don't fold now, David.
Wait.
Oh, but it's my birthday.
You really gonna give me a birthday on my birthday gift with a birthday?
David, now you don't deserve to go to the Super Bowl. Let me tell you.
No. Look, because honestly, all right,
listen.
Tell me an artist you can't stand right now.
Artist I can't stand.
Off top of your head,
Lil Yachty.
Okay. She gets her. What if her favorite artist was Lil Yachty, right?
All right.
She gets tickets to that, and it's your birthday. You'd be like, I don't want to go to a Lil Yachty concert for my birthday. I'd rather stay home and chill and do something I like.
Honestly, realistically, I would probably let her go because again, that is.
But
like
it sounds
one
like
of
you'd
those...
be upset.
Well, I think initially there might be like a little disappointment because I mean I am human, right? But at the same time, if she told me, listen, I won these tickets, it's once in a lifetime, I'd be like, all right, well, just know that when you get back, you know what I mean? Make it up for that time we lost.
It's been like, look, once in a lifetime, but the lifetime resumes after the Super Bowl is over. You know what I mean?
About?
Like,
so that's it. So yeah, I would let her rock. I would let her rock.
What would you do, Petey?
Which way?
If it was your girl.
If she won,
if
she loves Beyonce. If she
Okay.
won backstage passes and 2 tickets, I know she might ask me.
I would say you wouldn't go to that because I would.
You'd go to see Beyonce.
I'd go see the
I'm
Queen.
not as into Beyonce as other Beyonce fans are.
Petey be in there.
I'm not.
Who runs the world, girls?
Who runs the world, girl?
Take his shirt off. Who runs the world?
So she might ask me out of like kindness, but I know she has another friend I'd be more into it.
Yeah, out of kindness, because it's politicking. She wants to ask you just so you could be like, no.
How many times have we all done that? Let me ask something.
Hey, no, look. So you could be like, hey, at least I asked.
I asked, right? I asked you before I went.
No
and
one
you said
can
you didn't
say
want to go.
that you didn't ask. Is all I'm saying.
Now,
so.
if it falls on my birthday weekend, and she's like, I'm going with my other friend, I know my son will be like, wow, you're gonna miss my birthday, but I'm also gonna be
everyone's
very
different,
understanding. But you can't miss that.
Are you a big birthday person in general though?
Not.
Some people hold their birthday on a pedestal,
Like my mom.
as if no.
My mom.
Look, your mom celebrates the whole month.
It was this year,
Right.
so her birthday's on February 25th.
Right.
February 1st. She was like, I'm throwing a party. I'm like, for what?
Today.
She's like, it's my birthday. I was like, your birthday's in 25 days. She's like, yeah, but it's February. She celebrated from the 1st till March 31st. It was 2 months this year.
That's too much.
It was 2 months this year.
That's not a day. That's a season.
She loves her birthday.
See, I'm not as not that I'm not a heavy person, but I'm one of those birthday people that's like, yeah, you do what you gotta do. I just want to meet up and have something nice to eat at one point in time in the day. I don't need like a I don't know all these people around. Good food is important.
If you had to pick any restaurant in the world for your birthday, where would you go?
Oh my God.
That's a tough one.
That's a
Let's say
super
somebody.
tough one.
Let's say somebody's taking you and they're
Are you
paying the
telling me
bill.
a meal or a restaurant?
They're taking you. It's your birthday. They're picking up the tab. Where are you picking?
Something. Cheesecake Factory. I don't know.
Yeah, because that's so like, because even like these big time restaurants, like, listen, I don't want to go and buy a $100 plate for
Right.
a morsel of food.
Oh my, that was a fantastic word.
Morsel.
That's not what I want. I want to,
no,
you know what I'm saying? You want to
when
make
was
me
the last time
happy?
you heard that one?
Take
please?
me to K-Pot down the street. Give me the.
Have
and
you
let me-
done that?
And let me get. Hold on. And let me get. Of course, I've done that. And let me get both options. Let me do the Korean barbecue and the hot pot. Pay a little extra, and I'm happy.
I'm gonna give you a hot take. I've done it myself. A hot take for the K-pop. I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
I'm on his
For
side.
that, I'd rather cook in the crib.
You're
Straight up and
bugging,
down.
yo.
It's a kitchen you go out for. What is that, bro?
Eat?
It's different. It's
I
different.
think a restaurant to me is I have the conveniences. I don't have to cook my food.
David, let me say this from my perspective.
Please.
I know you cook.
I do.
Right? I don't.
And in many different ways too.
Yeah.
By the way, I cook.
Yeah. Okay.
Let him cook.
I don't cook, and I could promise you, I do not cook as well as a chef in the back of a restaurant.
Words.
So why would I
Facts.
want to go to a restaurant where I have to cook myself?
Because first of all, doing the whole you guys are ridiculous. Doing the whole
You guys
K-pop
are so
thing,
young.
doing the whole K-pop thing, it's
Back in
more
my
than
day.
it's more than just like it's an activity. Like you're
I
sitting
understand.
there.
Like,
you
if
know what I
somebody's
mean?
gonna do it
and
for
it's
me-
easy to cook. It's not like you have to sit there and like
Oh,
Yeah.
watch it. Everything is so all the meat is like cut very thin and everything. Like it literally takes a minute or two
Let me tell you.
to cook it.
When I win, it was not. You could say it's easy, but I don't think anybody can
didn't-
do it because my food did not come out that well.
I am not bad at cooking, and when I went to K-pop, the food was delicious, right?
Okay.
But I know that in general, I don't enjoy cooking, so I save cooking for like gestures. Oh, it's her birthday, cook for her. Oh, it's Valentine's Day, cook for her. Oh, it's this and that, because then it's a gesture of kindness. But I mean, even though I probably should.
Well, then
I just
that
don't
don't
cook
work
as frequently.
That don't work for my lady because she look at me like, baby, I'm hungry. I'm like, all right, well, let me go cook something. So I cook breakfast, everything. But still, K-pop is a great.
You know, the tone makes me feel like I'm a
Well,
bum now, right?
let me tell you,
The
Dave.
way
Oh,
that-
no.
no, but the
No.
way he said that, he's like, hey, well, that doesn't work for me.
No, I mean, no, everybody.
I
mean,
don't know
to-
how it's working for you. You may be on the lower end of the...
But see, that's the thing. I actually cook for a living, and let me tell you, I don't want to say I hate it because that sounds terrible, but I don't like cooking like for other people. But for my lady, I'll cook all day. I don't know. It's whatever. I'm just
yeah,
saying.
Valentine's Day's around the corner, feel me? There's he's trying to figure it out. It's like, yo, let me throw a couple alleys on the show. And then she'd be like, oh my God, David, you were talking about cooking. I'm hungry. All right, but on that note,
Speaking of hungry,
oh,
we got San Fran Chiefs next week. Like I said, we got a little derailed. They're facing off next week. We're gonna talk about it a little more on Saturday next week. There's a big game.
I like it.
Mahomes' legacy.
Mm.
Will he get another ring? Brock Purdy. All this talk about, is he actually him? Can he do it?
You know what sucks?
What?
If he gets a ring, they'll say he doesn't deserve it.
I think that's crazy.
Why
They
would
will.
they say that?
They will.
They will
Why?
say that.
Because he's the sixth best player, seventh best player on the team. That's why they'll say it. I won't say it. You already know who I'm rocking with. I'm not rooting for Pat. I want something different. I mean, we're gonna get more into
I
it
understand
when we
who
get
you're rooting
there.
for,
Cross
but I
that
don't-
bridge when we get there, right? But hey, I don't think it was a mystery to anyone who I'm rooting for. Let's be for real. They're gonna say he doesn't deserve it.
It was a little bit of a mystery because you started picking. You were like going for Detroit at one point.
I mean,
you were
I
for
wanted
San
Detroit.
Fran, you were
Yeah, I
for
don't know who's worse.
Baltimore.
I don't know who's worse, Cody or Wallow. I seen Wallow wearing
All right.
freaking 7 different jerseys this past week, depending on what team was playing.
Listen, I'm not out here repping other teams like that. You're not gonna catch me ever in like a Pats jersey or like
We know.
You might catch me in a Dolphins jersey. I would rock a Jeremy Waddle. Jalen Waddle, excuse me.
I used to have a Ricky Williams jersey. Remember Ricky Williams?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Ooh.
He's a guy that made grabbing someone's hair legal.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that. Come on, bro. I watched the little docu-series.
Okay.
I've been there every once in a while. I've been here for a long time.
Hey.
So, look, I think that the next thing that I wanted us to talk about is these boom and bust from last week, man.
Let's do it.
Boom, 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 boom. Listen.
Now, it was a little different last week.
It was a little different.
We had only 2 games going on.
Yo.
So we each chose 1 boom, 1 bust to start us off.
To start us off, second pipe dream of the week. I had Mark Andrews booming, averaging 13.5 pre-injury, right? Because he was injured. He had a whopping, hear me out, whopping 2.5. It gets, listen, I don't want to hear your gruntle, giggle, chuckle, anything, nothing. There was reason to believe that he was going to do well. Now, why don't you tell him about your easy pick?
My easy pick.
Your easy pick, yeah, please.
It's easy when I'm picking.
No, yeah, please.
If that's what you mean.
No.
It's easy when I'm playing against you.
Oof.
Yeah. My boom. I
Right.
had Pat Mahomes against the Ravens. You can't say that's
Okay.
easy. If it was easy, you would have chose it.
Yo, that's as hot as Antarctica, bro.
You're crazy.
Everybody and their mother could have told you that Pat Mahomes is going to have a good game.
No. Against the Ravens defense last week, before that game happened, you wouldn't have told me that. Everybody was saying the Ravens were going to win.
You might be right.
Come on.
You might be right. You know what? When you're right, you're right. And I can't tell you that I ever doubted that he was going to have a good game, but I definitely didn't expect a boom. I expected Pat Mahomes' numbers. And is that usually a boom? That's, I guess, kind of that gray line where you're trying to figure that out. Does he usually boom? I would love to figure that out for next episode, actually.
How many times he's gone over his projection?
How many? Yes. If we can look in fantasy, how many times he's gone over his projected number? I would love to know that information.
It's a good one. It's a good question.
I can probably find that for you. But I had Pat Mahomes.
Let's keep them on their toes.
We can do that too. I had Pat Mahomes against the Ravens, all right?
Right.
And I said it. I was like, Pat Mahomes is the best player on that team. And if they're going to win the game, he's got to have a game.
Word.
He averages 17.5. I was like, I've seen him play against the Ravens in the past, and he always balls out. It wasn't necessarily the case this time, but he did just enough to get 19.14.
There you go.
And put me on the over.
I like it. So, hey, man.
So, now, on the note of, I don't know how many times he's boomed, right? But he averages 17.5. During the year, the amount of games he had over that.
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I don't think you should look at it that way.
Yeah, I know.
Because average literally means half the time he goes over, half the time he doesn't. That's what an average is.
I'll find that information while you talk about your next pick.
Right. Well, this is my bust, Petey, actually, since we had one boom and one bust.
I know, I just said your next pick.
All right, fine. Well, I had Brock Purdy busting this week, which, even though they had that crazy comeback in game, that was actually what happened. He was averaging 18.5. He only got 17.48. So, technically, it is a bust. He didn't hit that number. He is doing less than average, even though he's going. So, I mean, there wasn't really a lot I expected from him. And then in the first half of this game, I thought that my bust was a lock. Like, without a doubt, when it was 20-7, CJ waving the fans goodbye, I was like, yeah, I have this one for sure. And then the whole rest of the game was a nail biter for me. It kind of like had me on my toes. Everybody's on their toes. Stepping on toes, walking on toes. The last episode was Toby or not Toby. There's a whole lot of foot in the conversation, I guess. But I don't know, man. When you really look at his production for the second half of that game, it's literally the quite opposite of what the Chiefs and the Ravens kind of went through, where, you know, Petey said it so many times. The third quarter onward for the Chiefs-Ravens was a slow game. Very slow game.
Yeah.
So it was kind of nice to see a little change of pace going into that Detroit game where you get to see a comeback that we probably haven't seen a comeback like that in a playoff game since Falcons-Pats. Probably. Not like that, or at least in that fashion. Obviously, the Super Bowl one is more significant, you know, the Falcons-Pats. But
No, it was
it's right there. You know, it's a lot. Not a lot of people can come back from a playoff game alive.
Right.
You know, so kudos to Brock Purdy in general.
All right,
You got that stat?
I got the stat for you. Pat Mahomes, I'm giving it to your percentages.
Okay.
His boom percentage, 6%.
Really?
6% of the time, he booms.
Wow.
I'm going to give you players with a higher percentage. Josh Allen, 25. Jalen Hurts, 19. Lamar Jackson, 31. Dak Prescott, 31. Jordan Love, Brock Purdy, Baker Mayfield, Sam Howell all also had 6.
Right.
Jared Goff, 13. Tua, 13. Russell Wilson, 7. CJ Stroud, 14. Justin Herbert, 15. Justin Fields, 17. Kirk Cousins, 13. Joe Burrow, 10. Flacco, 20.
Right.
AR, 25. It goes on.
Now I have a question for you.
His buzz
Right.
percentage. Do you need the question right now or can?
You can finish
Okay.
it. Go
His
ahead.
buzz percentage, 38% of the time he busted.
Well, I mean,
I'm sorry.
But
I'm
that
sorry. I was looking at the wrong one. 19 times busted. The only guys that were higher than that, also Lamar Jackson, 25. Dak Prescott, 25. Jordan Love, Purdy, also had 19. Jared Goff, 44% of the time. Baker Mayfield, 31. Tua, 38. Sam Howell, 31. CJ Stroud, 36.
well, two things.
Yeah.
One, we all watched the Chiefs this season.
Right.
And as much as we want to, revel in the greatness that is Patrick Mahomes, at the same time, we were all kind of saying that the Chiefs don't look the same.
I agree. With
They're a
Offense
different
isn't,
team.
offense isn't, as explosive as it was. So are we? And I'm also pretty sure, I didn't play fantasy this year, but I'm also pretty sure that Pat Mahomes' expectations are always going to be somewhat high, right?
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Because he's Pat Mahomes. So I don't know if I'm entirely too surprised. I think originally when I first heard the number, because I was like, damn. But thinking about it
Yeah.
in that type of terms, I don't know if I'm too surprised on that.
I'm so happy that you said it before I was able to, because that's true, as someone that me and you were following fantasy the whole season long, right?
Yeah.
How many times was Tyreek Hill projected 22?
Hell, got him out.
So if he doesn't hit 22, is it a bust? He hits 21. No, he's still balling, but he's not hitting that number that they're putting him at, and that doesn't mean that he's not extremely valuable of a player fantasy-wise or just in general, but it just means that, they might have set the expectations a little too high for Pat.
Tyreek Hill, quick little thing. First wide receiver in NFL history to be selected for a Pro Bowl in his first 8 seasons.
Yeah, that's dope.
So
Shout
let's
out
clap it up for
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill.
Shout out
Good
Tyreek
stuff.
Hill.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
One
Great
final
stuff.
stat for Mahomes. He was drafted probably first or second as a QB in most fantasy drafts.
Right.
Now, the amount of times he made it, he was top 6 of the week. All right, for fantasy points,
Top 6?
top 6, like top 6. Like,
Okay.
like number wise of the week.
Top 6 to me means he was number 6. People say top 5.
No. I'm saying like let's say a random and like week 12, the top quarterbacks,
Okay.
like the top 6 of that week.
Top
scoring
6
wise. Yeah.
quarterbacks.
So he was only top 6 13% of the times.
That's kind of crazy.
So pair Josh Allen 56%. So more than half the season he was a top 6 quarterback. Jalen Hurts 63. Lamar Jackson only 38. Dak Prescott also 38. Jordan Love, Brock Purdy 31. Patrick Mahomes was number 24.
Now think of the season that Dak Prescott had, and
Yeah.
all the yards he threw and touchdowns and stuff. And what was his number?
He was top 6
30-something?
38% of the times.
Well,
Goes to show you, man. It just goes to show you. And especially in the beginning of the season.
numbers lie.
Hey, man. Who's writing the numbers? It's not the numbers that lie. It's the people that write the numbers that lie.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
Speaking of numbers, I got my next pick.
Oh, my God. Tell him, Petey.
My bust. I had Jahmyr Gibbs against the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
He averages 16. I said this before the game. This is a young team,
Right.
but they had David Montgomery, kind of a vet now.
Yep.
And it showed in the first round they were heavily using David Montgomery.
Right.
Jahmyr Gibbs kind of took a back seat in the playoffs. In the second game, it was a little different. Gibbs did a lot more, scored a touchdown, but in the end, it was not enough. He only scored 13.1 fantasy points.
It's almost as if
Tell me.
you know what you're talking about.
And I'm congested.
Well done. Well done. I'm glad to see that you went 2 for 2 to wrap up everything before the Super Bowl. Now, this week, we're not going to get as heavy into it, but we got a Pro Bowl to look towards this weekend.
Yeah, let's do it.
And it's been an exciting little couple weeks trying to figure out, oh, this guy was snubbed. This guy should have been in, this and that. You know, we clapped it up earlier before about Jermaine Johnson making it in. It turned out that he was able to make it in because Khalil Mack got hurt.
Right.
You know, prayers for Khalil Mack. I don't know what his injury is, but it was bad enough that he couldn't play in the Pro Bowl. I think the Pro Bowl is going to be interesting, but I got one thing I want to say before we get into the roster of what is the Pro Bowl.
Let me hear it.
We were talking about some of the events that we were watching the last couple days, the quarterback events, the receiver events, things like that. Listen, I saw that one event that the quarterbacks were playing where they had to throw it into a bucket at the other side of the end zone.
Jalen Hurts?
That
he looked like poo-poo caca in that event.
I'm not gonna lie to you. None of them made the event. Like they all threw the ball. It was I believe off the top of my head, if I can remember who I saw in the video, it was Geno Smith, Jalen Hurts, Baker Mayfield, Gardner Minshew, Tua I saw, and C.J. Stroud. All of them look hard playing those games. And, like, usually when you're watching the Pro Bowl, at least in, like, let's talk, like, last 5 years past, right? There's competition in it. You know? And if it's not, like, you know, obviously it's all friendly because it doesn't have to do with the season, but show me something that gets me excited for the Pro Bowl.
David,
you know?
I think you told me you watched it, right? Or did you not?
No,
Or
I did
clips?
not.
All right,
I
so
clips the most, but
so I don't know if you guys know this. I'm gonna
Right.
tell you who finished in the top 5. Starting from 5, Geno Smith. Geno Smith at 20. Gardner Minshew at 21. Baker Mayfield in 3rd place with 24. C.J. Stroud in 2nd place with 26. Do you want to guess who's in 1st place? Who won the event?
It's going to be someone random. PD.
Baker,
No,
money.
he was number 3. He was number 3.
okay.
He was third. I'm going to say
You're never gonna get it.
I won't.
No. I think I'm gonna say the name. You're gonna say who? I think David probably be like, oh yeah, I know that guy.
Who?
If I had to guess.
Oh, what was the name that he said that he knew? Blaine Gabbert?
Yeah, something. All right, ready? The
No,
winner
the Chief.
with 27 points.
Let's hear it.
Dan Orlovsky.
Hey now, Dan.
Do you see how excited he got?
Do you know who Dan Orlovsky is?
You ever seen that Bugs Bunny meme? No.
Oh yeah, I have seen the meme. And Dan Orlovsky used to play for the Lions, ex-Lions quarterback.
But he's
He
now
He's now
an analyst.
Yeah, he's now an analyst for ESPN.
And
Yeah.
he won?
He won. He came off the chair from analytics.
That's
from
right.
being an analyst and won the whole event against current quarterbacks.
That's sad.
In street clothes.
And he also made the deep ball. He's the only one that made it.
That's so sad, dude.
Nice.
What does that tell you about the future of the league?
Put him on a team right now.
Put him on a pedestal. No, honestly, make him a Jet.
You know who would've won that event?
Let's relax.
I think Joe Flacco would have killed it in that event.
He does throw a pretty ball.
If talk about someone who could put it on a rope, man, maybe he could.
Joe Flacco gets so much love on this show.
He really does.
It's crazy.
And he deserves all of it. Every last drop of it. I don't see any reason why, you know, if there was, all right, this is a good question. And then we'll get into, I have one last thing I got to say.
Go ahead.
If you could interview one quarterback that was a starter last season on the show, who would you want to interview?
That, after this whole season came
After the season.
Kyler Murray.
Ew, why?
No.
Why?
I'm interested.
I'd probably say
Out of everybody?
I'd probably
And
say
he's a
Baker
gamer.
Mayfield.
Baker's a good one.
I think he'd be entertaining.
Honestly, if it was me,
I would love to talk to Baker.
I think I'm gonna say Jordan Love. I would love to see like where all this hype is behind him and how he feels about it.
CJ Stroud would be a good one.
Realistically, I'd probably want to talk to Aaron. You know what I mean?
That's a
Get
good
on a
one.
little dark retreat with my mans. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Come back enlightened.
That's
Might be
good.
fun.
That's because David be on that ayahuasca. That's
Zach
what it
Wilson?
is.
Would you want Zach Wilson on the show?
No. If he came to the door, I'm locking it.
Whoa.
Straight up. Straight up. I might give him a fake address.
He's sitting outside.
Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
outside.
Yo, meet me here. I'll give him a dangerous address. An address in the area he shouldn't be in.
Yeah.
They were going
Give me
crazy.
the address to MetLife.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you should know this should be
Yeah.
your home. Why don't you get back to the drill?
I want-
out of the
Yeah.
interviews.
Yeah, you said you want to show up? Show up here.
Yeah,
Show
show
here.
up and show out.
Yeah.
No, did you see them going crazy for him at the Jazz game? So you know he lives in Utah.
Yes.
Okay.
So he threw like a dime of a football to someone across the stadium.
Like Tom Brady at that banquet?
Yes, exactly like that.
Somebody, before you move on, it was funny.
Go
Where
ahead.
You saw the video of Tom Brady throwing that ball in the banquet?
Yes.
Somebody said, when Tom Brady has a football, it talks back to him like the Green Goblin.
He can't help himself.
He starts hearing voices in his head.
Throw it.
Throw me. Throw me, Thomas.
Throw the back shoulder. Throw it.
The back shoulder is crazy because everybody's sitting down.
Somebody said if Tua,
Hit someone in the back of the head.
somebody said if Tua threw that ball, would have hit an old lady with a wine glass somewhere.
That's
Oh
terrible.
man, well, but yeah, man. Shout out Zach Wilson making the Utahns.
I guess.
What do you call someone from Utah? Like you-
Mormon. Mormon.
Well, he's Mormon, no?
That's what you call people from Utah.
No, but come on, bro. That's a religion. But Zach Wilson is a Mormon.
Oh,
correct?
is he?
I'm pretty sure.
I'll-
Look, hey, I would hate to be wrong right now, especially.
Wiki
Hey.
D's, check it
I'm
out.
like 90% sure
He's gonna be
Mormon.
like, is Zach Wilson Mormon?
I'm gonna say Zach Wilson's religious domination.
He's the best
Wilson
Mormon to play
was
football.
baptized as a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
There you go.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Is
what
he
that-
Mormon?
Oh no, but that is a
Latter Day.
That is a branch of Mormon.
Yeah.
A branch.
Well, there you go. Well, there's the answer.
There you go.
Is he the best Mormon to play football?
That is such a.
Best
that
to
is-
ever do it.
I don't know how to answer that question. Because it's not like I have a list of Mormons. Well, you got this one and that one. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta. I don't know. But on that note, I think it's time for us to really dive into this Pro Bowl sheet. I think that the list that we do have, obviously, I was just ragging on a lot of the quarterbacks, but you're all going to see a couple good ones. As far as the AFC quarterbacks, you got Tua, Lamar, CJ, and Gardner Minshew from the AFC. Then in the NFC, you got Brock Purdy's going to be in the Super Bowl. Dak Prescott, Matt Stafford, Jalen Hurts, Baker Mayfield, and Geno Smith. NFC running backs, you got DeAndre Swift, Kyron Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, now that he's not going to be in it. And then as far as AFC running backs, you got Raheem Mostert, our favorite James Cook, and Derrick Henry. Now, do you think that the Pro Bowl is an opportunity for Derrick Henry to even display more of his talent for teams that
No.
might be interested in him?
No. Everybody who's interested in Derrick Henry knows exactly what Derrick Henry can do and knows exactly what he brings to the table.
Well, then, would they be scared that he may subject himself to potential injury in the Pro Bowl?
I don't think anybody's playing that hard.
Well, it's flagged now, right?
Yeah, ain't nobody. Which is exactly why it would be flagged, simply because of the fact that, these players cost a lot of money. And so,
Right. Getting into the receivers, you got Tyreek Hill, Amari Cooper, Keenan Allen, Jamar Chase. Now, as we said, we've been saying Amon-Ra St. Brown, potential snub. He really should have been. He's first team All-Pro.
Good.
So that means
Yo.
if for any reason any one of these receivers gets hurt, what are you laughing at?
I have a huge list here of Mormon quarterbacks.
Okay. Is there a lot? You have a count?
I'm gonna allow you to. I'm gonna see if there's any notable ones here.
I saw one. The first one that caught my eye was Matt Gay, the kicker.
Okay.
Taysom Hill. Hey
Taysom Hill.
there you
Hey
go.
now.
So Zach Wilson's not the best Mormon to play
He's
in the
not. He's
NFL.
definitely not.
No,
'Cause Taysom-
no,
he's definitely not.
definitely not, dude. Definitely not. Especially, Taysom Hill is playing two positions, so he can play two. And I think we've said that on the show. If we can just look at it, we definitely said that Taysom Hill plays two
But
positions.
you've got a
better
lot
than
of.
Zach Wilson
But
plays one.
but you do have a lot of players. I mean, see now this makes so much sense. Steve Young is a huge Zach Wilson guy, right? Knows like the family and all this stuff like that.
Right.
Steve Young is a Mormon. Look at that, part of the same church. Makes sense. Makes sense.
They go every Sunday. Together.
Not that your church signifies how good you are or aren't at a sport.
Obviously not, but
Throwing that out
there's
there.
actually
Andy Reid.
Fred Warner.
Andy Reid, a Mormon.
Whoa.
Super Bowl coach. Come on now. Come on, bro. It's enough to mention it.
So welcome back to Cody's Corner. We have the top 5 Mormons to ever play football.
That's a title. Oh, that's a title right there. Top 5 Mormons? Question mark? I don't know, man. I'm trying to see if I recognize anybody else off
The
top.
Church of Jesus in Christ of Latter-day Saints got some ballers over there, huh? They about to start a little league, a little church league, killing everybody.
The Latter-day League.
Killing me.
That's
too funny.
That
man.
is funny, bro.
I would watch that game. They got some dude. You see the names on here? I see Fred Warner. Like they've got.
No,
some,
there's a couple.
They taste some. Like they've got.
And they're
some
all
people.
coached by Andy Reid on the sideline? Come on,
Is
bro.
Zach
Oh,
Wilson
man.
a top 5 Mormon?
Is this a 52-man roster right here alone?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I really just want to see the number because I'm scrolling through this list and I see that it's so many, but I want to know how many people are on this list.
You're gonna be counted for a while.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, everybody else gonna be talking about like 1, 2.
Austin
3,
Collie
4. Like, here you go.
for the Colts. Look at this.
It's a decent list. It's definitely a
Look,
decent
yeah,
list.
Well, you know what? Now I want to know how many Catholics are in the league. So
All right, what are you gonna
Looking
have?
it up.
That's
You're
gonna be a lot.
an encyclopedia.
I'm
on
coming
the
back
page.
next episode with a whole list.
Yeah, top 10
about-
Catholics.
David, I have a challenge for you. Next week, I want you to actually build the all team of Mormons. We could start off.
Oh,
Matt Gay is your kicker. That's the easy one.
Andy Reid is
Andy
your
Reid's your
coach.
coach. Go on from there. You don't have to do that right now.
I definitely don't think you have every position on there.
Hey,
But
I think you do.
I
You
think
think
you
so?
do, man. There's
There's
a
a lot
lot,
of
dude.
them.
There's a lot. I got guard on here, DT, safeties. Yeah, man. I could make a little team over here.
But on that note, let's get back into the
Pro Bowl.
first list that we were getting into.
I'm
of
definitely
the
making a
Pro
team.
Bowl. No, yeah.
Definitely making a team.
I'm excited for you, bro. I honestly am very curious how that's going to go.
Oh, it's good. It'll be good.
As far as tight ends go in the AFC for the Pro Bowl, you got David Njoku and Evan Ingram. So we've been talking a lot about Evan Ingram on the show.
I think
Yeah.
he deserves it.
he
does,
does deserve
he
it,
does.
especially the way that he exploded in the latter part of the year.
Yeah.
Outside linebackers for AFC, you got T.J. Watt, not Khalil Mack, Jermaine Johnson. Forgive me.
TJ Watt's playing.
Or if he's active, he should be playing. His name has an asterisk next to it on the list, so I think he may not. I'm not sure. Inside or middle linebackers, you got Roquan Smith. Roquan Smith was that guy, number 0 on the Ravens. They kind of blitzed him a lot in the game against the Chiefs. I don't know if you remember that, but good player. Free safeties. I'm just naming people like notable people. You got Minkah Fitzpatrick. And then as far as corners go, you got Pat Certain from the Broncos, Sauce Gardner.
Certain or certain?
Certain, forgive me, I said Certain.
You know you're not good at names.
Yeah, well, that's an easy one. I definitely should have said that one right. And then you got Jalen Ramsey and from the Dolphins and Denzel Ward from the Browns.
Now I have a quick question.
Shoot.
The Pro Bowl, if you are injured and can't play or can't participate, your Pro Bowl selection still is valid, right? You were still
You're
selected
still
Yeah.
a Pro Bowler, but they're gonna select somebody else. Just like it is
Well,
for
yeah.
every All-Star. You know, you're still an All-Star,
Yeah.
but
Okay, just
somebody
making
will
sure.
replace you.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Like, it's not like your nomination gets removed, but it's
Right.
more so like their bench, their depth chart is kind of like first team All-Pro, second team All-Pro, da-da-da. So I think that if you get hurt, you get bumped down to the bottom of that.
No, I don't think you get bumped
then they
down.
split it up.
You still keep your ranking.
Because the reason I
Somebody
ask you,
else
because
will replace.
all that has to do with like incentives and all that stuff too.
Yeah.
Guys get paid off of that, so
Right.
you know it's good to. I guess
Yeah,
I
because
would
then
want
you always have teams that are in the Super Bowl. Like I'm sure McCaffrey's the first All-Pro, but he's not going to be playing.
Right.
Right.
And, But he's still going to be the first All-Pro.
Right. Okay.
Wait, you're still naming names.
Yeah, to keep going down the list, you got NFC wide receivers. You got CeeDee Lamb. A.J. Brown is not going to be in it. He was supposed to be in it. I believe he either opted out or is injured. His name also has an asterisk. And replacing him is none other than Amon-Ra St. Brown if A.J. Brown does not play.
Why would he opt out?
I have no idea. But
Why
his
would
name
you-
has an asterisk. And
AJ
it
Brown
says
was hurt.
here,
That's why.
Yeah,
I'm
he
sorry?
has to be hurt.
AJ Brown was hurt. Remember he hurt his knee?
Well, then Amon Ra is playing that in the
Yeah,
Pro Bowl.
he was. I don't think AJ Brown's gonna be playing.
Okay, well then cool.
He didn't play in the last playoff game.
Oh, correct.
Right.
You're right. Forgive me. And then you got Mike Evans, Puka, and DK Metcalf.
Puka's gonna be fun, and DK
Super
Metcalf's
fun.
gonna be fun.
Hopefully he wears some gloves this time around.
Flag football.
In the tight end category for NFC, you got Sam Laporta.
DK's gonna be really fun in flag football.
Super
Yep.
fun.
How are you gonna get that guy?
Especially if his strides get crazy. He hurdles you or
Sheesh.
something crazy like that.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, George Kittle would be in it, but he's in the Super Bowl. So
Right.
replacing him, you got Jake Ferguson from the Cowboys. I don't know how you feel about that. I don't know if there's another tight end that maybe you feel like should have been or
In
should not have
NFC?
been. In the NFC.
That's not
Laporta.
Laporta.
Laporta's already in it.
Right.
Yeah, correct. So you're talking about someone else that isn't George Kittle or Laporta.
I'm trying to think.
Off the top of my head,
NFC.
Let's see. Teams in the NFC. You have the Eagles, nobody there.
No.
Bears, nobody there.
Uh-huh.
Packers, I'm not choosing Musgrave.
No.
Mark Andrews now.
Mark Andrews, but he
No,
was
he's
hurt a lot of the
AFC. He's
season.
AFC.
No,
He's
he's
A-
NFC. Oh, no, I'm talking-
No. Mark Andrews is
sorry.
AFC.
Vikings.
Who's there? No.
TJ
Oh wait,
Hawkinson?
what?
He's the highest paid tight end in the league. He better be a Pro
Yeah, but
Bowler.
did he play that way this season? Not really,
The
because
quarterback didn't
the
give him a
quarterback
chance
exactly.
I got a good one.
Let's
The
hear it.
Cardinals. McBride.
Huh?
All right, so let's talk about that. Is Trey McBride better than
Yes.
Jake Ferguson?
I think so.
I think Dak Prescott made Jake Ferguson in the regular season look like a monster.
Yeah, that obviously has to be what it is because
Right.
T.J. Hawkinson is way better than both of those guys you mentioned. However, he had nobody to throw him the ball, so I'm pretty sure if his stats were anywhere comparable, that would be his spot.
I like that.
I got a good one for you.
Okay.
Over there in Tampa Bay.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, honestly, I
knew that
thought
was
he was going to
coming.
say that first.
Yeah, I'm surprised it took him so long.
To
To be honest with you.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna argue with Ferguson. There's nobody really, not somebody else that's like
Not your boy
Yeah.
Darren Waller.
definitely not.
Dallas Goddard.
No, he didn't really have a great season.
Nah, he didn't have a great season either.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
All right, go get Jake Ferguson. It is.
Well, moving along from that, you got some defensive ends. You got Montez Sweat. You got Aiden Hutchinson from the Lions. DeMarcus Lawrence from the Cowboys replacing Nick Bosa since Nick Bosa's in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Those are all going to be fun. And then from NFC outside linebackers, you got Micah Parsons, Danielle Hunter, and Hassan.
Hassan?
Reddick. It says Hassan.
What was his last name?
Reddick, Reddick. His last name was Ruggs.
Yeah.
That's a whole different story for a whole different show, I believe. But then inside linebackers, you got Fred Warner, in San Francisco, which won't be playing. So replacing him is going to be Demario Davis from the Saints, good player. Then you got Bobby Wagner, no surprise there. And then as far as notable cornerbacks, Devin Witherspoon from the Seahawks, great player, and Darius Slay from the Eagles, replacing Javarius Ward from the 49ers. Other than that, I mean, hey, that's really it. I think it's going to be a great game to watch.
So let me go through this. I know the Pro Bowl has kind of been a very underwhelming All-Star weekend compared to all sports, right?
Right.
I think this year they changed it up a little bit. They had the precision passing that we saw on Thursday. They also had some other events that I didn't watch personally.
Right.
They had the best catch, which was between Njoku and Puka.
Right.
You had high stakes, where it's starting off with two footballs in hand, and each player will attempt to catch punts from a machine.
Oh, I saw that.
You had Jermaine Johnson, Miles Killebrew, Marvin Mims, Justin Simmons, Denzel Ward versus Deron Bland, Nick Belmore, Sam Laporta, Rashid Shaheed, and Devin Witherspoon. You also had a dodgeball game, which I'm upset I missed. I'm going to have to kind of watch that back.
Yeah, the dodgeball game was fun to watch.
Did you watch? It was really fun last year. You had a lot of big names in that.
Yeah.
This Sunday, we have kicker tic-tac-toe, where it's each team's kicker will compete in a giant tic-tac-toe competition and see who wins.
That's pretty cool.
This year, we have Justin Tucker versus Brandon Aubrey.
Great kick.
Who's your winner?
Justin Tucker, easy.
I'll agree. Then we have something called Move the Chains, where this offensive and defensive lineman strength and speed competition is going to take strategy and teamwork. Each team of 5 players must work together to move 3,000 pounds of weight off a massive wall, and the first team to pull that will win. You have Will Anderson, Teron Armstead, Miles Garrett, Larmy Tonsil, Kevin Zietler.
Who can't pronounce names now, Petey? Why do you sound so confused?
To be honest with you, I don't even need the rest of that list. Miles Garrett's gonna pull down whatever the hell.
Right.
The dude's huge. It's ridiculous.
That guy's arms look like a tree stump.
It's gross almost a little bit.
Then you have
Finding shirts must be a horror. For
you're gonna have a relay race, which I think will be really fun to watch. You have a Madden game going on.
Ooh.
With Puka, Micah Parsons, and Tyreek Hill and Joe.
Yo, I'm sure Puka's gonna be fine. He's never wearing gloves anyway, so holding the sticks is gonna be no problem for the man.
Micah Parsons gonna win that one.
You have a tug of
I've
war.
heard he's good in
tug of
Madden.
war matchup, 5 against 5. That's gonna be fun to watch. And then you got the flag football. So there's a lot of going on Sunday. I think it's gonna be very fun.
I mean, look, it's gonna be as entertaining as a Pro Bowl can be while we wait for what is the biggest game of the year, and I'm excited about it one way or another.
All right, well, that's gonna move us right into keeping score.
Hey now.
Huzzah!
Huzzas!
Oh, see, your sound effects got a little ahead of themselves. So,
Right.
David, why don't you lead us off getting into the conversation about?
Not a problem.
This was so exciting. It made David take off his hat, and he was ready to put it back on.
Over the headphones.
Yeah, how do you wear? How are you gonna do that one? Nope.
So here we go.
Look at him.
So we got a couple things going on around the league. First thing I want to talk about is
to me.
So the NBA implemented this new rule that players need to play 65 games to remain eligible for major awards.
Right.
So that's MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Sixth Man, things like that. You have Joel Embiid, who, if you guys have been watching, is the clear-cut MVP.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he is...
We'll see.
Well, see, this is the thing. He's got 4 games left because he just got a knee injury, right? So he's already been playing a little hurt.
Right.
He had this freak injury against Golden State. Jonathan Kuminga kind of like landed on his knee. So right now he only has 4 games left to remain eligible.
He's only got 4 days of PTO left.
Right.
4 sick days left.
4 sick days left. So my thing is that, like,
in the NBA.
so my thing is that, one, if it's not Joel Embiid,
Right.
who is it gonna be? And 2, do we think that that's a fair rule to implement?
I think so, yeah.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I think it should play a certain...
As two people that are not as into NBA as you, I know you're gonna say no. It looks like from your face, I'm looking at you, you're trying to say no. The reason why I say yes is because I think something that we also talked about when we talked about NFL is, what makes you the most valuable? Consistency. Are you there all the time?
And we're talking about you need to play 65
Dependability.
out of, 82 games a season?
Right.
I think that's a good number. Like, if you're playing less than 65 out of 82, are you the most valuable in the league? When you have somebody doing something similar for way more games?
This is my thing. This is a slippery slope for me.
Okay.
Because, again, I watch a lot of basketball. And there's only really a handful of guys, realistically, that could even be considered an MVP in this league.
Right.
And I don't know. I feel like something like this, like Joel Embiid, right? If he can't play, I've watched these other guys, and don't get me wrong, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander having a great year.
Right. That was what I had in my head.
Luka having a great year, right? Like, you have these guys, but Joel, when you're watching him, when you're watching these games, Jalen Brunson's another guy who's having a good year. When you're watching these games, you're like, and then when you're watching the games without Joel Embiid for the 76ers, you're like, oh no, Joel Embiid is the MVP. The way he's scoring, the like everything he's doing on the court. So to me, it's like, okay, so let's say the injury isn't as bad or whatever the case may be, but instead of playing 65, he can only play 60.
I think that should take him out. Let me ask you this. So 65.
And then to give me who? Because anybody that you're giving me isn't going to be as worthy.
You don't
They're
think
not.
so?
The Thunder can't do anything without Shy.
The Thunder are stacked. I'm not. And it's a different. It's a. You take away Shai Gilgeous, they're still going to be able to like run. Yes, he is a huge part of that offense and stuff like that. But they're still going to be able to like run an offense, and they got a lot of comparable pieces over there.
Would they still have made it to first place without Shy?
No, I don't think so. And I don't even believe they're in first place right now. It's the Clippers that are in first place right now.
Which is crazy to think about.
But with that being said, I don't know. To me, it's just
I
don't hate the rule, right? Because I do feel like, especially in the NBA, I hate seeing elite players not play, right?
Yeah.
Whether it be for like some load management crap or whatever the case may be. So I do hate seeing elite players not play. But sometimes I feel like, I don't know, I guess I feel like there should be maybe like a little bit like of a bigger threshold.
I think
right?
that's enough. Look, the best ability to have is availability.
Yeah.
If you're playing 65 out of 82 games, you're playing 79% of the games. NFL-wise, that means you're playing 13 out of the 17.
Right.
Would you give an MVP to somebody who played only 13 games in the season?
That's an interesting debate.
Football's
You're missing.
It's such a different.
it's such a
concept
different. Yeah, it's such
because it's so many less games. I feel like.
right. 82 comparatively to 17 is.
I still like, even though Embiid is the front runner, if he misses out on it because of this, I think you'll still have options. Luka is still out there.
Let me ask you, how about Jokic again?
And that's what honestly, that's what I'm afraid of, because I feel like the league, for whatever reason, won't give it to a Shai, or won't give it to an Anthony Edwards, and we'll end up seeing Nikola Jokic once again as the MVP. And I'm not saying that he's not a great player, because clearly he is.
Right.
But I don't know. Me personally, in all sports, not just the NBA, I like parity. I like to see, different people coming up and all that good stuff like that. So with that being said, I don't know. We can agree to disagree. I think it should be. Personally, I would have took like 50 games. You got to play 50 games.
I think that's way too little.
That's still a lot of games. Personally, I mean, I don't know if you
That's
play
a little over half.
I mean, listen, you guys, these elite players, they play 38 minutes a game back to back. Like 50 games is a lot of games.
Right.
So
Yeah,
it
but
is, and
you'll
it is
have
more than
somebody
and it is more than half of the games.
Somebody there's gonna be playing 80 at an elite level.
There's levels to this, but either way, with that being said, I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna go a little bit more local here.
Bing bong.
Knicks on a 9-game winning streak.
Woo!
Their current record is at 32-17. In the month of January, they're 14-2.
That's nuts.
They had a comeback win the other day against the Pacers. Jalen Brunson put up 40. That same night, he actually ended up getting interviewed by Alan Hahn that night, and he got emotional because everybody in the Garden was screaming out MVP. It was also the night that he found out that he got selected for his first All-Star game. So I really just say that to say this. I'm not a Knicks fan. I'm a Laker fan, and but I really like what they got going on over there, man.
Yeah, I really do.
And I think the Knicks being good is good for basketball.
Whenever a New York team is
like
good, it's good for the sport.
Right. I just feel like New York is obviously the Mecca, right? It's such a polarizing city. So when you have the Knicks, the Yankees, Rangers, any Devils, like any of these like
Even
tri-state, like, you know what I mean? Like any of these teams that are
Yeah, the Nets should come back to Jersey.
yeah,
That's
the Nets. I mean, it'd be great if the Nets were good, but
it's not the same magnitude as a Knicks being
Right.
good,
It never will be either.
No.
so yeah.
Now, the Knicks, as well as they are, as awesome as they've been playing, they're great. A great team. Do they have enough to make a championship run?
Now,
Do you think they need one more piece?
This is a great question. Now, over the weekend, we all know that LeBron likes to be a little cryptic. Right? Sending hourglasses. He's talking about, oh, yeah, I thought about being a New York Knick one time. Let me tell you something. First of all, LeBron's not going anywhere. It's number
Right.
one, right?
He retires a Laker.
That I can't say. LeBron is a very fickle guy, and he keeps his movements to himself. So I really don't know about that. However, I will say that Knicks fans, all right, if you were to be lucky enough to have LeBron grace your roster, all right, you take that and you ride into the night. You hear me?
I agree.
Because listen, I was hearing over the radio on ESPN radio. Shout out to them. A lot of Knicks fans were calling in complaining that yes, agreeing that they need another piece, but saying that they don't want LeBron. Not even that they don't need LeBron or they couldn't use that they don't want him. Are you drunk?
Well, look, as a Knicks
know.
fan, I would welcome LeBron with open arms.
Oh.
All right, I would love to have LeBron on this roster, but on the other side, how much is it going to cost to get LeBron on the Knicks? I think
Exactly.
it might be more. It's hard to say. It's annoying that you have to say it, but it might be more than he's worth. You know, at this point in his career,
I agree.
and what he
Listen,
can bring, because the name itself, LeBron James, is going to bring you a haul in a trade.
We're on top of New York media.
Listen, I don't know. I'm not a GM, all right? So I don't know how they would get certain things to work out, even though there's, again, absolutely no chance that LeBron goes to the Knicks. However, if they got rid of, let's say, Julius Randle, maybe Quentin Grimes, some young pieces, right, that the
Couple
Lakers,
picks.
right, couple picks, and you put LeBron James next to Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby, LeBron. I don't know, man.
Look, if
In
the,
the Mecca, I think it would be, I think it would be crazy to see. Even though it's not gonna happen, I'm gonna emphasize that it's not gonna happen. However, I do think the Knicks need one more piece. Obviously, it's not gonna be LeBron. I think they need another ball handler. Personally, I watched the Knicks game. Jalen Brunson plays a lot.
Like a Kyrie.
They don't need somebody of that stature, but they do need a good I think a guy like, you guys may not know who I'm talking about, but like a guy like Tyus Jones.
Oh, yeah, I know who Tyus
I think
Jones
Tyus
is.
Jones would be great for the Knicks. He can shoot the three, he makes great decisions, right, and he plays defense. And they need somebody because Jalen Brunson logs a lot of minutes. Last year he played hurt against the Heat, so it's like, to me, they could use something. Are they going to make a run? Yeah, somewhat. They're a second round team at best because I don't think they could beat the Bucks or the Celtics in a 7-game series.
I agree.
but do you think Jones is enough? Is he a star that's gonna? I think the Knicks need a star. I like Brunson.
Jalen Brunson's not a star?
He's amazing, but is he gonna be the star that wins you a
Would he
championship?
be a star somewhere else?
But see, this is crazy because
He was on the Mavericks with Luka.
yeah, but again, you're playing behind Luka.
Yep.
Luka's taking all that. Knicks fans are always talking, we need a superstar. Jalen Brunson is a superstar. Like, I don't know, what else do you want
Right.
out of a superstar? You want him to be able to take the pressure of the city, especially a city like New York, which he does very well. You want him to be kind of like a hometown guy, right? Like, his father's part of the organization and all this other stuff like that.
Right.
He goes out there, he can give you 40 at any given night. Like, he's a superstar.
I think New York has been always wanting a superstar big man
Since Patrick Ewing?
Since Patrick Ewing.
Now, this is a question. I don't know. I actually think that Jalen Brunson could possibly be the best Knick since Patrick Ewing. I
Ooh.
still have Carmelo.
I was gonna say not Carmelo.
I still have Carmelo there because I'll never forget that. What was it? The 2012-2013 season when they had like 54 wins.
Yeah.
They ended up losing to the Pacers that year in the playoffs. I think it was like Game 7. I think Roy Hibbert like blocked Carmelo Anthony's shot right at like the buzzer or something like that. But
Right.
I think Jalen Brunson has that potential.
Yeah.
So
He's right up there.
I think he has
it's
that
not like
potential.
it's not like you got to take him out of that conversation or anything.
I think
It's all linear. I
yeah,
agree.
I think he has that potential to be, if not, and if God willing or whatever, they win a championship, I think he'll even surpass Patrick Ewing.
Wasn't this guy from the Knicks also nice? What was his name? Stephon Marbury?
Yeah.
Is he also in that category?
As best Nick?
Best Knicks ever?
I mean, he was a good one, but there was a lot of
because he was in between Pat Ewing and now.
But there was a lot of really good Nick players. You know what I mean? So, but yeah,
that's difficult.
It's tough. I mean, I'm excited to see. I think they're thinking about it heavy, and they're gonna make a move most likely.
Yep.
It's excited to see who they go after.
And to end this little segment on the NBA, there was something that I want to talk about, but I'm gonna leave it for next episode. I want to do it a little bit closer to the closer to the draft. Little game I want to play, but we're gonna leave that one. But for now, I am gonna give you the quick little starters, the full lineups for the All-Stars.
Okay.
So we've got the East. The starters: Giannis Antetokounmpo, Joel Embiid, which that'll probably change. They're gonna have to announce that. I'm not quite sure who. Tyrese Halliburton, Damian Lillard, and Jason Tatum.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got the reserves: Bam Adebayo, Paolo Banchero, which I love. I think that's I think that kid's gonna be nice.
Right.
Yep.
Jaylen Brown, Jalen Brunson, who we were just talking about, Tyrese Maxey, Donovan Mitchell, and Julius Randle. So the Knicks actually have 2 All-Stars on their roster, which is great.
Probably
Great
been a
for
long
basketball.
time since you had 2 of those.
Yeah. Hey,
Been
man.
since probably Melo
And Amari maybe.
Oh, Stoudemire, word. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe. And then you got the Western Conference starters, Luka Doncic, Kevin Durant, Shai Gilgeous, LeBron, Nikola. The reserves, Devin Booker, Steph, AD, Anthony Edwards, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard, and Karl Anthony Towns.
That's going to be fun. It always
The only
is.
thing I have to say about all that, Anthony Edwards deserves to be a starter.
You know what? I agree with that. My
So
thing
does
is
Brunson.
that who would you take off of that? You're either gonna have to you're gonna take off Luka, Kevin Durant, Shea, LeBron, Nikola. Who you taking off?
Oh man, that's difficult.
I mean, yeah, you can LeBron maybe.
For AE?
I don't know.
I think
This year wise.
I think you could alternate Shai and Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, but only one can start.
I don't
Let's
know.
look. It's tough. There's no room for him.
Well, all I'm gonna
Bless you.
Thank you.
Sheesh Louise,
I don't know if I
brother.
ever sneezed on mic before.
It's the first time for everything.
That was wild. Yeah, that's what my sneeze sounds like. So.
Well, All-Star Weekend for the NBA is always a fun time. You know what I mean? It's gonna be exciting. I love it. I wish it was a little bit more competitive, but it always seems to get that way towards the end. They start playing for a little bit more, which is always fun. And this year they're having a cool little competition between Steph and Sabrina Ionescu. Listen,
UNESCO?
there you go. I can't really pronounce her last name.
So everybody's mispronouncing last names now.
I knew that was coming.
Just in case.
So apparently her and Steph are going to have a little 3-point competition. I've got the parameters here. So the format, it'll be 4 ball racks with 4 game balls and 1 money ball.
Right.
5th rack will be a special all money ball rack. Steven and Sabrina can decide the spot for this rack. 2 starry range shots. If you know starry, that's like that.
Like the super deep 3.
Yeah, right. Shot values. Game balls worth 1 point. Money ball with 2 points. Starry range worth 3 points.
Keep going.
I do believe that Steph is probably going to hit all of them from starry range. Steph Curry will shoot from the NBA line with NBA basketballs, and Sabrina will shoot from the WNBA line with WNBA basketballs.
That's the question I had. Okay.
So I think that'll be really cool, and I think that's also a really awesome way to integrate the WNBA, right, into the NBA. Obviously, that's like the sister company and all that good stuff like that. So I think that's a really good way to like show awareness. They might gain a couple of fans.
Yeah.
So it's good stuff.
I mean, which they should 100%. And as respectfully as I can, I'm going to say I'm not going to vote against the best shooter of all time.
Yeah, I will.
Steph's got that.
Yeah. I think it'll be great to watch and all stuff like that, but, you know, my money's going to be on the guy that can shoot from the parking lot. So, yeah.
Well, look, bringing us quickly into baseball. There's not much going on. It's still the offseason. Spring training is only weeks away.
It's right there.
Can't wait. The only big news of the week, Orioles have been doing things. I'm sure neither of you have heard this one.
Let's hear it.
But the Orioles owner is selling the team, and you got 2 new buyers, bringing in Cal Ripken Jr., who's an Orioles legend.
Hey now, Cal Ripke?
I even know
Awesome.
that
Yeah,
one.
you know that name.
I know that one.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Baseball.
the-
over there.
Wheaties box?
the billionaire who's buying the Orioles was born in Baltimore, so a big fan. So you know he's going to be doing his best to win a championship there,
Right.
which is going to be a big change from what the ownership was in Baltimore, which kind of cheap, didn't make the right moves.
How was Baltimore last year?
Great, but that's just because they had great young stars. You know,
Mm,
they're an up and coming team,
okay.
which brings us into this trade they just made. You got Corbin Burns coming to the Orioles for 2 prospects and a pick, but this is the guy they needed, man. They needed a star pitcher, and I think this puts them over the top to win their division because the Yankees made
I was just going to say.
some amazing moves.
Mm-hmm.
But we're talking about Orioles team last year that won, I think, 101 games. The Yankees won 82. All right?
Wow.
The Yankees got Juan Soto, huge move.
Huge.
Marcus
Huge.
Stroman, which I think is going to be great.
Me too.
You're still banking on Carlos Rodon bouncing back and having a good season. They had a terrible one last year. Garrett Cole, you know what he's going to do.
He's our ace.
Yep. The Orioles, you have this young team. They're going to keep going. They got more young players. The pitching was amazing at the end of last year, but now you're adding somebody who's won a Cy Young caliber pitcher to be your ace. They haven't had an ace in a while.
Right.
Mike Mussina is the last name I can think of.
Wow, that's actually my quarterback's name in high school.
Mike Mussina.
That's actually Messina, but yeah.
So I think this makes them the favorite in the division. And
Wow.
it's going to be so fun to watch.
Is that your bold prediction?
Orioles win the AL East.
Really?
Calling it
Stamping
right now.
Calling it right now.
Calling it right now?
The Yankees
That's
need
super
the
early.
Yankees need to make another big move that I don't think exists unless they make a huge trade, which I don't think they have enough.
The way too early predictions.
Way too early.
Only here in Cody's corner.
The Yankees are not going to win the East. Juan Soto will not re-sign as a Yankee.
All of that.
All of
So
that.
we got Baltimore winning the AL East, and
Juan Soto won't be a Yankee next season.
Juan Soto won't be a Yankee next season.
For all of our listeners out there that are wondering why I might not be as verbal on this portion of the show is because I, like you, am also listening to this content from my fellow co-hosts because this is a learning process for me as well when it comes to baseball. So I'm excited to learn, watch as it goes along, and I actually have a fun fact for you.
Let me hear it.
Did you know Marcus Stroman once was randomly selected to be on the Amanda Show?
I think yes. I saw the video of him
Amanda,
as a kid
Amanda,
there.
Amanda.
It was him at like 5 years old in,
Yep.
in a little red polo.
Yep, I seen the
Really?
video.
And like they did a competition and he won the competition. He actually ended up getting Amanda Bynes slimed on the show.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool.
And now he's a Yankee.
Well,
Look
look,
at
we're
that.
going to get Cody and David a little more into baseball this season. I have some things set up. So I think it's going to be really fun.
We're excited.
And on that note, we're gonna wrap this up, and we're excited to see you next week. Come the Super Bowl, man.
Got a lot to talk about.
Got a lot to talk about, a lot to see, and hopefully a good game for all of us. So
Let's go.
from us here at Cody's Corner, thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see ya.
How's it?
Give it to me.